Hi, everyone. There's something I want to share that you might disagree or agree with me. And you have the total freedom to have an opinion or not have opinion. If you have anything to share, you can share it down in the comments. But there's something I want to share, and how I want to put it is that maybe I'll first start with just wanted to say that I have been on what they call a spiritual journey for 40 years. And I started at a very young age, about 15 or 16. I had my first so called spiritual awakening. And I have been searching for the longest time for peace, truth. I've been searching for enlightenment or chasing the experience of enlightenment, looking for relief from my pain and suffering. And as I've been journeying, so-called journeying, thinking that there was a spiritual path with a future destination they call enlightenment. And I discovered along the way, through experience, through the ups and downs of being involved in spiritual communities, participating in different groups, practicing different spiritual practices, doing different kinds of meditations, being the actual perfect spiritual seeker, and really being involved deeply into spirituality for 40 years. And it seems like a long time. And I've come to some conclusions about spirituality but all these things that's going on circulating inside a lot of the spiritual communities. And I have a whole list of them that I wrote out and I want to share with you. Now, this is a little different video from my previous videos where I just kind of share things that come up and express spontaneously from within my own soul. But I had a chance to sit down and reflect on my last 40 years of being on the spiritual path. And I just wanted to say that it's been my conclusion that after a series of experiences and awakenings, that I've discovered that there really is no linear path going into the future. And pretty much what has unfolded is a deepening into presence, into my own heart. And to me, that is more of an authentic awakening to reality. So instead of being in spirituality, I have come back and brought my attention back into reality as it is. So there's a list of some misconceptions that I want to clear up with you guys. And if you have any comments, please comment down below. And if you like this video and my previous videos, also subscribe to my YouTube channel. But anyway, let's get back to this list of things that I've made. So the first one is number 1. There is really no linear path to the future or going back into the past. So what I wanted to share with you is that from my own observations and conclusions, I have not been able to find a future or past. Only I've discovered that there is this nowness happening. I call it nowness, but life is unfolding only right now. So the past and future actually is happening right now. You might have heard this from other people who have discovered the same thing. This is a very common realization when you awaken to your spirit and to your presence. Number 2, I've heard this concept circulating around a lot of spiritual communities, manifestation circles, and a lot of past spiritual teachings that I've been into. They call it positive thinking. Okay, so there's nothing right and wrong with positive thinking. The only issue with positive thinking is that any thinking keeps you in your mind. It distracts you, hypnotizes you to be confined only in this world. Your perception becomes limited. You can only perceive a 3D world, but you cannot sense any more of a depth or a deeper beauty that resides within everything. So positive thinking is future-based. It projects you into the future because you're hopeful that your positive thinking will shift your reality into something better than what is happening right now. Right now is just perfect. It's divine perfection. It's not necessary to do positive thinking to be present fully with life. The issue with positive thinking is that the world works in a dualistic, it operates in a dualistic and pendulum kind of way. So when you do positive thinking, it swings back to negative thinking. It's just the nature of this world. This whole world is formed and manifested out of polarities, good and evil, up and down, right and wrong, better, worse. Everything that's manifesting has a positive and negative polarity to it. So even if we identify with our thinking in our mind, when we do a lot of positive thinking, the negative thinking will emerge within us. It'll keep swinging back and forth until we realize, hey, life is just this imagination of a dream in God's divine mind. So life is really actually just a manifestation of consciousness. It's beyond positive and negative thinking. So to come into our center, our soul and our spirit and our heart, we need to come back, detach from our thinking, and come back to center. And then life will unfold through us and will manifest everything that we need with more ease and grace. Things will start happening more in synchronicities. This is beyond the concept that a lot of people are teaching about manifestation, the secret, and all those positive thinking groups out there. Okay? So this is kind of a radical concept, a radical understanding, but deeper understanding. Okay? So bear with me. This making videos is kind of fairly new to me, and I'm just expressing in a new way and trying to convey a message that is hopefully helpful to whoever's listening right now. But please keep an open mind and listen with your heart. The next concept that I've listed here is about practicing your spirituality, making great effort to move forward. That I have to meditate hours a day. I have to pray, get on my knees. I have to be very devoted. The issue with this idea is that making great effort and practicing, you miss the point of meditation being relaxing into the present moment. So we have this intention that we have to move forward into an imaginary future that, we have a destination to reach, but we'll never reach it as long as we are projecting out into the future. We will miss the point of meditation. We're going to just come into disappointment, more stress, anxiety, and more sadness because we've missed the point of just being present in this moment. But the flip side of great effort is, and I've done some of these things that I'm mentioning, and they don't work. They just don't work at all. So I've had to let go of these ideas. Since I've let go of great effort, things are falling into place more with ease and grace. It doesn't mean the challenges are not coming, but overcoming those challenges is a lot easier being present with them as they come up. And life is accelerating. I'm finding that my life is unfolding a lot more faster, exponentially. And things are just falling into place without effort, more and more without effort, as I let go of myself and I go deeper into myself. Okay? The next concept or idea that I want to share with you is mistaking Satori. Satori means glimpse into an enlightened state or higher state of consciousness. The mistaken idea about Satori and glimpses of the enlightened state or oneness with God or the universe is that we think that we just reach enlightenment, which is not true at all. It's just a glimpse into who we really are, that awareness of who we are. Glimpses are great. I've had a lot of glimpses before. I have no need for those glimpses. I've let go of that idea. But I've let go of that because it propels me into the future again, to imaginary future. Now I'm resting more deeper in awareness and presence. Letting go of that idea. So glimpses are great along the way. They kind of remind us of who we are. But don't get trapped into the psychological idea or mental belief that I finally reach enlightenment. I am the enlightened one. It just creates another identity. It makes you think that, okay, I can go out and teach now workshops, make some money maybe off it. Okay, whatever, it's your choice. But I'm just saying that it creates a false spiritual identity, being attached to spiritual experiences. Go Keep going. Keep going within yourself. Just be present with that. Because there's a lot of pitfalls along the way, a lot of ideas that we can embrace that are false. It could even create a spiritual ego. That which takes us to the next concept, an idea. If we have an intense, what they call a kundalini experience, and there is this energy that lies dormant at the base of our spine. You just have to check out some East Indian traditions. They talk about this serpent or energy that climbs up our spine and gives us a blast of an experience, expands our consciousness, and you feel this energy take over your whole head area and you expand out of your body, and you have what they call a kundalini awakening. It could feel sometimes a bit sexual. It could be really intense, but it's just an experience. It's just another spiritual experience. It could bliss you out. You could get attached to bliss. You could be attached to kundalini experiences. You could desire more of that kundalini. I've been there. It runs its course. It will die. You have to die to that experience too in order to go deeper. But that's not the final destination. Don't get stuck on that experience. As wonderful it is, keep going further. Go deeper. Surrender all those ideas and concepts to your God self. And there's many teachers that are teaching how to awaken the Kundalini. I would recommend not to play with that energy. Because if you're not prepared psychologically, emotionally, and with blockages, you could go stir crazy. There's a lot of people that have ended up in the mental institution because they had a premature Kundalini experience. I would just allow that to unfold naturally. I've had those experiences on and off throughout the years. It is certainly not what I'm talking about over here. It's got nothing to do with enlightenment. Even the concept of enlightenment is not enlightenment. Ultimately, there's no one to be enlightened. Letting go of all ideas, it's a subtraction process, is what manifests your own inner divinity to come through. Okay, I hope that helped. So the next concept is, I've met some people, some folks who have, and I'm not going to name who they are, and I've heard a lot of stories about people who've become gurus and cult leaders that have bypassed their shadows and their conditionings somehow and gone into a higher state of consciousness, locked into a higher vibration, and become very charismatic, and there's a lot of powers of the mind have been awakened. They can do some incredible things, speak really amazing words, but have not dealt with their inner darkness. Isn't that a surprise? So this has caused a lot of issues with their students and disciples where they have abused them sexually, physically, emotionally, psychologically. Luckily, I haven't been in a group like that, but I have actually followed and studied some of the teachings of these folks. Unbeknownst to me that I was actually tricked psychologically into thinking that they were enlightened, very special. This bypassing, they call it spiritual bypassing, excuse me, creates a big spiritual ego, which makes you much more dangerous, much more abusive to those who are not as conscious to their own spirit, to their own presence, to their own center. Those at the lower state are more contracted sense of self, which is called ego consciousness, or more unconscious to their presence, actually adore, worship, and follow these people. And a lot of stuff is now happening these days. We're living in an era where the truth is coming out and they're being exposed. There's a great cleansing going on. So, what I'm presenting to you here is a new way of being where you are in your own power, in your own spirit, and in your own light, loving yourself fully, and just being a mirror to others. But this is a big warning. Please use discernment if you are going to follow someone. And there's nothing right or wrong about what anybody is doing. I'm not here to judge others about what they're doing. But just want to make sure that you use a lot of discernment, consult your own heart. Always consult your own heart and check the background of anybody that you're listening to or following or